Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. Um, this is this is almost a repeat video of other videos that I've done, but it needs to be said because you hear more and more about it on the news. Everyone knows how I feel about cell phones. Cell phones, I'm not a fan of them because if all it is a phone and all it does is allow you to text, that would be fine. Great innovation, you know. But they know everything that's on your phone. They know everything that's happening around that phone. I mean, it's an invasion of your Fourth Amendment, of your privacy. It's a Fourth Amendment violation. And we have one. I'm not going to say we don't, because we live in a remote area, and they're handy for emergencies. You break down, you call for help or whatever. You know, they're handy. I'm not saying they're not, but there's been so many. They prove that James Clapper lied when he said they aren't gathering metadata. They can gather it off of everything you own, every electronics you own, every electronic appliance, your cell phone, your computers, everything. Every keystroke is recorded somewhere. And so there's other things we need to talk about besides cell phones and computers. Although those are the two big ones, I guess. A lot of these, if they don't have them yet, they are on the drawing boards. So keep that in mind. Refrigerators that use scanners to read barcodes. They can tell what you buy, when you buy it, and how much you buy of it. What you're using, what you're eating. They can tell if you're eating properly or not. Or it's asinine. That's their way of looking at it. Imagine you go into an insurance company and say, well, I need some life insurance. And they go, well, you don't eat properly. You don't eat according to our standards. So we're going to up your rates. Imagine that. I know it's stupid. I didn't do it. I'm just telling you what they're doing. Security systems. A security system is a good idea. In theory. Problem is, who's it reporting to? You got any camera out there, any camera that's hooked up to a wireless, like the Wi-Fi or internet or whatever, and somebody else can get access to it. And if that's the case, they can watch everything that camera sees. Your security system is supposed to protect you, but is it actually reporting on you? You know, it's a thought. Electric meters, like your smart meters, it tells how much electricity you use. These things have been known to. There's electronics in those things that allows them to turn off electricity, for example, lower the electricity rate by force, that kind of thing. Who knows what they can do with them? My contention is a meter is supposed to measure how much electricity you use. That's it. The guy comes by, he reads your meter, that's it. That's the function of the meter. If it does anything other than that, we're getting into a gray area. Televisions. It has been proven that people with these new smart televisions can watch whatever's happening in front of that television. So if you're watching TV, they're watching you watch TV. Or they're watching you do whatever the hell it is you do in front of your TV. Think about that. Stereos. They can tell what you're listening to, when you're listening to it, and how long you listen to it. So some of these disc jockeys that, or these what do you call them? The shock jocks or the talk radio hosts that certain people don't approve of. Yeah, they know if you're listening to them or not. I already talked about computers, and it grows. I mean, anything you do with the computer, they can tell about. The thermostat in your house, they have smart thermostats they can adjust themselves. Yeah, what the hell good is that? You're freezing cold and the adjustment goes down for whatever reason. Oh, and if you don't control what's in your house, it's not your house. Think about that. The toilet. They're coming out with smart toilets. The way it was explained to me, or at least the video that I watched, smart toilets will be able to analyze your stool sample and determine if you have future health risks. I guess that's okay. That a warning comes up on your cell phone because you have an app or whatever, and it says, hey, we detected this anomaly in your stool sample. You need to go see a doctor now about this and this and this. Okay, that part I can understand. But what else are they telling them? Again, what else are they telling them? It's asinine stupid. They're trying to put sensors in guns so only certain people can fire them. If you own your gun, you should own your gun. Period. Because if there's a sensor in there that says only a biometric or whatever and only you can shoot it, I can kind of see the argument there, but then suddenly somebody turns them off. And now nobody can fire those guns. You may as well be hitting with a brick. It's a gross invasion of your privacy. It's a Fourth Amendment violation. In some cases, it's a safety issue. They have these self-driving cars now with the OnStar and all that. Now, I'm not a fan of OnStar at all because they can remotely turn off a car. What if they get the wrong one? You're driving down the freeway and your car goes out. The guy behind you, bam, I mean, mistakes can happen, and in any technology. But what happens if they decide you're a bad guy because they don't like you and suddenly your car doesn't work? And I'm not saying OnStar would do that, but the government might, depending on who's in control of the government, because I'm not a fan of big government. And these self-driving cars are just a nightmare waiting to happen. There was an incident where an older couple bought one of these new cars, one of the self-driving cars, because I don't know, as I understand it, the lady thought that the old man was he wasn't fit to drive anymore. So they bought one of these self-driving cars, which in essence makes sense. But they left the parking lot, they're driving down the road, and suddenly the car went haywire and went into a parking lot and parked, and all the doors locked, and the windows wouldn't roll down, and it scared these people half to death. Turns out some kids with a laptop hacked into the computer and drove the car remotely. That's just terrifying. Imagine if those kids weren't just playing a prank. Imagine if they wanted to kill those people. They could have done it, and I don't know if there's a way to trace that. Who did it. They could have drove them off a bridge. They could have ran them into a building. They could have ran them into oncoming traffic. It's horrifying. And God forbid one of these self-driving cars by itself decides that a lane, for whatever reason, is free and clear and just goes full off down the road, and it's full of pedestrians for whatever reason. And people say, well, that can't happen. Really? Because it's happening right now, all the time. Yeah, they're called terrorists. The technology we have is moving beyond our wisdom to control. Invading our privacy like this will do nobody any good. That's all I'm saying. And if you have one of these smart appliances in your house and it does good by you, amen. But just imagine the downside. That's all I'm saying. If they can remotely influence any of these items, imagine what they can do to you in your own home, sitting there watching TV. I'm just saying. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.